Yo, what's going on, guys? We're back today for another Alliance War in Season 23, and this one's, it's special. This war just happened today when I'm recording this. Normally I wait a couple days, sometimes even a week. I put the express shipping out on this video because it's a pretty legendary matchup. We're facing, four Lokis facing OMNI, so we're facing Seatin, Hector, all the boys over there. And I tweeted out just like that we matched earlier, and then Seatin tweeted me this, man, taken down by Mr. Fantastic with his stealth Spidey. Said this defense is putting me to sleep. As soon as I saw this, I'm like, all right, okay, buddy, it's on. It is on. So I'm gonna be trying my best. This war got a ton of fights. This war, 9 fight war. It's a thick path with some final boss action as well. So. A lot of fights here, man. A lot of fights. And we got 6-star Torch, 6-star Sorcerer Supreme, and the 5-star Void. So we're starting out on path number 2. Arguably the hardest path in section 1. This path has gotten a lot of kills on the new map. Probably the most kills in section 1. Just because this whole strike counter thing can really make people slip up, and these passive fears can really stack up. And it's very easy to make mistakes here. So we're using Sorcerer Supreme against this red Goblin, and for this first node's a bit tricky because you don't gain power through normal means. You only gain a power when the opponent gains a bar of power, and if they use it, you lose it. So you gotta be throwing those specials right away so they don't get too many of those furies. Right here, red Goblin has 3 passive furies, but we got our passive regeneration, so we're able to take a lot of block damage, and it's fine. So I'm not really too worried. Everything's going really well, and then that special one kills him. So I finished the fight at full health. I'm like, ah, that's perfect. Feeling great right now. Next up here, we have a thing. This is the fight I was a little bit worried about in section 1. So this is a 6-star rank 3 thing with, again, this whole strike counter fury. It also has some brute force. So if I don't hit him over a certain period of time, I'm going to start degenning. So I need to manage the strike counter fury so he doesn't get too many furies, but I also need to manage his rock stacks. Also need to manage his power. There's just a lot to worry about in this fight. Haven't used Void, I don't think, this season yet, but I used him a lot last season, and I sold many thing bosses and just many things in general with him last season. So every time I throw a special, it resets my strike counter. You'll see the little icons under my health bar. The green, the yellow, and the orange one, those stand for light attacks, medium attacks, and heavy attacks. And once I run out of one of those, that's when thing can start gaining the passive fury. So I need to be using kind of weird combos. You see me going for heavy attacks here, and then I use my special 1 to go ahead and reset that. So Void's pretty good for this fight if you can manage the rock stacks and everything like that, manage your strike counter charges. Because with Void, you want to be throwing the L1s anyways, so it ends up working out quite well. So you see me throwing the heavies here to help me build to my special 1 without running out of medium and light attacks, intercepting him with the special 1 to go ahead and reset my charges. And you know, so far so good. I'm playing very slow, but I also can't play too slow or else I'll start to degen. So really just trying to make sure everything lines up. And so far so good, trying to bait out these specials. Hit him with a heavy attack here to push him right to 15 rock stacks. That was perfect. He threw the special, gonna get off my special right away, reset the strike counter charges, and everything's going really good at this point. I just can't, you know, like make some colossal mistake and catch a combo to the face, and I'll be fine. And thing goes down. So I was really happy with how that fight went, man. Felt really good after that one. And then next up here we have a Captain Marvel movie. Super easy fight. It's the same nodes, more strike counter fury, but you know, it's a rank 3 Captain Marvel, but she's an okay defender, but any Mystic champion that you bring against her is going to be dealing like pretty nice damage. And yeah, with Sorcerer Supreme here, we're just going to keep throwing our special 1s to reset the strike counter. And I start in Icon's Ingenuity, I think it's called, just to get a little bit of power steal so I get to my special 1 a little bit quicker so that I can go ahead and start resetting the strike counter. So here she goes into binary, so if she throws her special 1, it'll be unblockable. It's fine, really not worried. Her special 1's not an issue. Her special 2's a bit of a problem. That one's hit or miss if I can evade it when she's unblockable, so I try not to push her to it, but yeah, just push her to L1. Here I'm in my attack phase, so this special 2 is going to do some pretty good damage. I was hoping that it would just kill her. Fortunately, we didn't get a crit. It only did like 3,000 damage. That's because she had a really big armor up. But we go ahead and nullify that armor. Now we're doing good damage again. And yeah, one more special one, and it's enough to kill her. So again, full yellow bar over Sorcerer Supreme. That's how a lot of my fights with her go. Seatin, if you're watching this, man, you're sleeping on Sorcerer Supreme. I think she's definitely top 3 Mystic in the game. Just look how easy she's making those fights, man. Coming out with full health, it's great. So next up here we have a rank 3 Longshot. So this is a power snack backup recovery. So a lot of power gain can go on here, and if Longshot gets to a special 3, that's not good. He stuns you on his special 3, and it's really not good. And also I didn't use an invulnerability boost. Also have to save my pre-fight for a rank 3 Doom later on in the war. So what you're going to see me doing here is I'm just doing 1-2-hit combos. And the reason for that is because I'm running Petrify as a mastery, 3 out of 3. So when the opponent's stunned, their power gain rate is reduced. So I'm only trying to hit Longshot while he's stunned, just to give him the least amount of power possible. And it's working out pretty well, man. You know, he's only about to get to his 2nd bar of power here, and he's about to hit the backup recovery, so I want to bait this out. He throws it, which is great. I'm not against pushing him to a special 2, but if he wants to throw those special 1s, who am I to say no? So yeah, everything's going really well at this point. Haven't triggered Power Snack either. No more backup recovery to worry about. So here, this is pretty much home run. And yeah, he throws a special attack and takes a ton of damage from the power stings. So that fight went really well, man. So that's my section 1 all finished with. After this, I went and streamed some Legs Junior, did initial clear on Variant 6. Got a pretty crazy pull. The video's on the channel if you guys want to see. And then after that, jump back onto the main account to finish this Alliance War. So we have a Terrax in section 2. I was a little bit unsure of Sorcerer Supreme for Terrax. I talked to Taters, and he's like, she has extreme energy resistance, so you don't have to worry. So I was like, okay, cool, say no more. He was totally right. She does have a ton of built-in energy resistance, so we don't really take too much damage from Terrax at the start. We're also healing from the willpower from his armor break debuffs. So yeah, everything's going really well here. I don't have any Mystic boost or anything like that on right now. I'm not really too worried about this fight. I get to my special 3 with the attack phase up, the attack blessing. So this is going to hit pretty hard. Hit him with the balls. Hit him with the balls. Snap. There we go. Let's see, that did 33k damage. You know, not too bad. I'm not max boosted here. I am decently boosted. I'm running some 6-hour Alliance War boosts. Just because I figured, you know, I'm actually really running low on boosts. So I spent 60 units on some attack and health boosts, and I thought they were going to cover me for the entire war. They don't quite, but we'll get there. But yeah, this fight's going really well. Terrax, he's pretty easy to fight. It's really just the damage, the passive damage that you got to worry about. And like I said, with that energy resistance, we don't really have to worry. So yeah, he's almost dead here. We're regening from our regen passive and armor breaks, and we finished that fight 99%. We're chilling. And that was my last Sorcerer Supreme fight for the war, so she's done. Now we get to Seatin's Professor X, man. Speak of the devil, here he is. I saw, this was the only Seatin fight on my path. I'm like, okay, I better not die to this one, man. That would be not good, especially after his tweet. So gonna heal my Human Torch up just a little bit. Forgot to heal him before I boosted. And again, we're saving the pre-fight for a later fight. But when you're fighting Professor X with Human Torch, I think I'm most comfortable fighting him with Human Torch, because as long as we're above 10 temperature, we can't miss. So we can get the Falter on us right here, but you'll just see we don't miss. So it's all good. And yeah, the only thing to worry about in this fight is his light attacks. You can't parry stun him. He's similar to Yondu, and that it has to be his medium attack to parry stun. So you just got to keep an eye out for that. I knew that going in. So yeah, this Professor X gets absolutely obliterated. Seatin got a rank 3, and man, you're slacking with the rank 2 defenders here. And yeah, now we move on to some mini bosses. So we got two mini bosses to go, and then the main rank 3 Mojo boss. So the first mini boss here we have is a Thor Ragnarok, and For Loki as an alliance has struggled with this fight in particular in the past. We've given some deaths to it. Omega Red didn't really work here, And this is a rank 3 Thor. So originally, Taters assigned me a Sorcerer Supreme for this fight. And I told him, I'm like, dude, I don't feel confident in that fight. I'm pretty unsure about it. And then he was like, what about Torch? I'm like, yeah, I feel much more comfortable with Torch. So it has stun reflection, polka dot power, so you can only gain power gain through, if you have a debuff on the opponent, you'll gain passive power gain, like combative power gain won't work here. And also stun vulnerability. So we can't stun him, it'll be reflected unless you apply an Incinerate, a Poison, or a Shock. I believe those are the debuffs. So with Human Torch, we can apply Incinerates. So that's what we're doing, and then we're able to stun him. And when you do stun him, he takes, you can see we hit an 11,000 medium, 17,000 heavy attack there. Like, just when he is stunned, bro, it's massive damage. We gotta be careful not to intercept him though. Right here, we throw our special 1 to turn off his power gain, and yeah, we can't intercept. I mean, we can, but we run the risk of being auto blocked. We definitely don't want that to happen. And yeah, dude, Torch is cleaning up this fight, bro. I don't have any smolder, I don't have any temperature, but it doesn't matter because of the nodes. Torch is actually just a great option for it. And we also have a guidance placed from a white Magneto. Shout out to TJ for placing that for me. It helps a lot, just more attack, passive stun, so there's the bypasses limber, so we don't have to worry about that. So that fight went really well, man. It was great. So now I know, and for Loki knows now in the future, Human Torch can totally take that fight without a problem. So my boy TJ goes ahead and applies another guidance from White Magneto on this next fight for me. Shout out to him. So we have a 6-star rank 3 Dr. Doom here. So I'm also going to apply my Human Torch's pre-fight. Been saving this one for this Doom. So this node has Limber and also Brute Force. That's really all there is. The Limber is the real problem, but placing the White Magneto guidance totally turns off the Limber. So I don't have to worry about that. So this is just a straight up rank 3 Torch versus a rank 3 Doom, and I'm very comfortable with this matchup. I used a combat regen boost on the Thor because we had class disadvantage. I figured I was going to take some block damage, and it carried over to this fight. So I'm going to go ahead and push him special 2. I much prefer evading the special 2 to the special 1. I accidentally blocked the first hit of his special 2 final part of it, but that's okay. I didn't do that much damage. Well, I did 3,000 damage, which is quite a bit for one blocked hit. But yeah, he goes to throw another special 2, and he kills himself with the Power Sting. So yeah, we just roasted that Dr. Doom. And at this point, unfortunately, Pete was doing his incursion run, and he couldn't take down the final mini-boss there. So I had to wait a little bit. A couple of my boosts fell off. It was okay. I just reapplied a health boost. Still had one of my boosts on. And now Mojo is open. Gonna go ahead and throw on an invulnerability boost just because this war is going pretty well so far, and I don't want to die against Omni and Seatin. I don't want to give them anything they can use against me, So trying my best not to die here. And yeah, rank 3 Mojo. So I've fought a Mojo here before, and it went really well. I actually soloed him without my Flame On ability, and I actually had another alliance mate use his 6-star Human Torch to apply Flame On to the final boss for me here. Shout out to, I think it was Carl. Love the pre-fights, appreciate it. So yeah, we have Flame On here, which is very nice. So the main thing when fighting a Mojo boss with Human Torch is to take off Dexterity. That's the biggest thing. I do make a couple mistakes. Well, I actually make the same mistake 3 times in this fight. It's the only mistake I make. And it's when I get against the wall, I'm unable to evade his heavy attack because you need dexterity to actually evade his Mojo's heavy attack. So against the wall, you just can't do it. So I get blasted by it a couple of times. The first time there, you see I used my my special 2 to kind of get me out of the corner. Right here, I don't have any power to get myself out of the corner, so I just get blasted. So that's not great. I think that was the last hit on my vulnerability boost. We took 3 heavies to the face, which was good. Now I have some power to work with to get me out of the corner. I probably should have just been using L1s instead of L2s to really just keep an L1 just as a bit of a safety net to get me out of the corner. And it's going to be what I do right here. He pushes me back right against the wall. So you see I just throw my special 2 as a bit of a get out of jail free card from his heavy attack. And Mojo drops. It was like 40 something hits. Human Torch just absolutely melts Mojo, man. It's pretty crazy. You block his L1, you build a ton of smolders. 46 hits. And Mojo's dead. So there's the war done. 9 fights, man. Crazy war. Pete was watching, and yeah, we used I think 3 items. And the cool thing is the war is still going on right now. We don't know who won yet, but BG3 actually we died 0 times as a battle group, and they've died 12 so far. 9 of those are to the Apocalypse boss, so most of them don't count. Once Apocalypse gets all of his genetic charges, it's a bit tricky. But yeah, we didn't die as a battle group. I had 9 fights this war, so it felt really good, especially after the last war where things didn't quite go my way on that one fight. So this definitely, I feel like I redeemed myself a bit. Good to be back with a crazy long war and a war boss. Felt good. So GG's to OMNI. It was really good seeing you guys. GG's to Seatin and Hector, all the boys over there. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Drop a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe if you'd like to see more Alliance War content. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out.